Hey guys, what's up everybody? Are you also having the feeling that there aren't enough videos about how to make techno kick drums, low end and rumble? Then this might be the right video for you. Yes, I'm joking a little bit, but anyhow, I have prepared 2 tracks of mine and I've taken out the low end from these tracks and I want to walk with you a little bit through the processing of the low end. The low end is very different. So let's go right into the session so you know what I'm talking about. So the first track is this one. So let's have a listen. Be careful. Could be loud. Let's go. And the second one sounds like this. So the second one is from my track Das Hein, which is released already. The first one is from my techno masterclass, which will be released in a few days, hopefully, on Production Music Live. But anyhow, so we are going to talk here about the low end. So on the first one, I have 3 layers. The first layer is just a simple kick drum with almost no processing, as you can see. So there's just the kick drum, it's not detuned or it's not, the sample has the standard length, no processing at all, just the saturator to add some harmonics, some overdrive to it. And let's switch off the group processing so we really can hear the difference on the single track. So let's go for that one. Okay, I can't hear it. Why? Because it's switched off. Again. So this is just how the kick drum sounds. Pretty boring. And there's just a saturator. So when I switch that one off, it's even more boring. So the saturator is adding a little bit of dirt, a little bit of crunch, but it's also making it louder. So keep that in mind. But this is just the kick. I think it's a nice kick drum. It's a PML kick drum, so from Deep Premium Volume 2. And the next one is most probably, it's the same kick. And the next one is the same kick as well. So pretty easy. Mostly when I make kick drums and rumble, then I use the same sample all over the place. Not all the time, as you can see in the next example, but in this one especially, there are 3 channels and all are using the same sample. So the second one is the same kick drum, but with a little bit of shaping to fit it into the rhythm of the track, if that makes sense. So let's have a listen. So it's just making ba-bop, 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 ba-bop. So we have together something like this. So we have the classic kind of psytrance. And when you listen to psytrance, you have this bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum. It's like a horse. Bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum. And this is almost the same. What is interesting here is very often I changed the timing of these 2 notes to until I have the feeling that it grooves more, or it's something like you can trick your ear or your brain, more your brain than your ear. When you move these notes, they sound louder or quieter just because of the timing and the combination with the main kick drum, and also as well because of the compression in the end on the chain or on the group. But anyhow, this is a nice trick to play around with it. So when I When I do this, then I change the timing of these notes like this. Yeah, until I have the feeling, that I like it. And what is also important here is, of course, the shaping. So the envelope curve of the sample to, because I want this, the first one as the main kick and the second one as the sub kick, which is like rumbling in the background. And the sub kick should not be that sharp and should not have this tight transient in the beginning. So this is why I have changed here the starting point a little bit, and then I put a huge fade to it. So without it, it would be just a fast kick drum. Yeah, just let's have a short listen. And with this fade and with this changed starting point on the sample itself, it sounds more like a rumble, but not like the classic rumble you know from the reverb or from the echo. This is more something you can tune much better into the low end. So this is, I call it the rhythm kick because it adds rhythm. And then we have the reverb rumble, which is necessary as well to add this body and rumble to the really low end to the kick drum. So let's have a listen. So this one is just adding a lot of decay to the original kick and also a lot of bass. So if we just listen to the kick drum and then add the reverb rumble, you will hopefully hear that there is a lot of bass going on when I add it. So make sure to listen on headphones or on speakers, maybe not on a smartphone or on the iPad, because then you may not hear the difference. But let's go for that one. So it also makes a little bit like a groove. You have the first kick and then you have the reverb tail and it sounds like boom, 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 boom. And on top of that, we are adding ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. And so we have something like bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-bum. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to tell. So let's combine all three tracks together. So the kick, so the first track and the third track sound pretty nice already, but the rhythm kick adds a little bit more like details to this group. Yeah, and talking about the group, the final step is the group processing. So let's switch this one on and let's switch those off, and then let's directly start with the effects here. So a bit warmer is a preset I'm using very often. It is Saturator from Ableton with the preset a bit warmer, and then I just dial in like 20% or less. And it sounds a little bit more, it has a little bit more harmonics. But it adds also a lot of boxiness to the kick drum, which will be cut out later. So the next one in the chain is presswork. So presswork is more or less a compressor. Of course, it's presswork. well-known compressor. And when I use Presswork, honestly, I just use it more creatively. So I put it on a chain and then I leave my track running and just switch the presets until I find something which I like. And this is basically how I use Presswork. Then I play a little bit with saturation, like dynamics, warmth, and amount. I play a little bit with input and output, gain, and with threshold. But that's basically it. Yeah, this is how I use Presswork. So let's compare before and after. The preset is called, where is it? Sub-bass domination fatten. Yeah. So, I mean, the name is already telling what is going to happen now. So let's go. So now there is a lot of gain reduction going on, but we are taking down the really transient and the sharp transient from the kick and bringing up the rumble and the rhythm kick. So the sounds are a little bit more, together, if that makes sense. So compressed in the end. So the sound gets quieter actually with that one. You could think it is worse now, but it's not. It's just quieter. Yeah, keep that in mind.
Believe me.
So the next one in the chain is satin. In satin, I usually just use the input and the output, gain, and play around with the clipping of the plugin itself. Because in my opinion, it has a nice, kind of clipping sound. And I also like this tape, hiss, asperity, whatever, this fizzing. I will show you. Okay, 10 ways louder now. I mean, we can try to compensate the volume here. So I have the compensator receive and compensator send here, and then we can try to compensate that. Okay, it clips, unfortunately. So let me compensate this very quick by myself. We need an utility. Put this together in the group, and then we put down the gain and switch it on and off. So in the end, the satin is adding also a lot of distortion, a lot of noise, a lot of dirt, but in a way I like it. So, I mean, the kick drum would be nice without the satin as well, I think. But I really like this kind of on every kick drum. So this is why I use satin a lot. And the next one in the chain is the most important, which is, the FUB filter. So for EQing, for kick drums, I really recommend you just to take out some frequencies and not to destroy the whole sound with the equalizer. So if you are, I don't know, adding, filters like this, then maybe your sample is not the right one and you should try a different one. So I usually just use the EQ in a way to take out frequencies which I don't like. Maybe boost a little bit frequencies which are missing, but in that case, everything is fine. Yeah, and the FUB filter is actually switched off. And when we switch it on, you will hear a huge difference just coming from that 6 dB and this minus 4 dB. So let's go. Fuck, it's that loud. Sorry. Here you can really hear a resonance. So when I switch that one off, you can. This is something like when I show you the kick drum without the FAB filter, you do not recognize. Usually, you should not recognize this resonance. But when I take it on and off, then you can really hear that it is in the sound, and this means we have to cut it out because later, when we do mixing and mastering and this kick drum gets very, very loud, then we have this sound and this can be really annoying. So yeah, let's play around with that filter here. So, I mean, we could take it out a little bit more so it's more noticeable, but yeah, it makes a huge difference for me, at least for me. And also this band here, which is really important when you add a lot of saturation, distortion, and whatever stuff to the kick drums, because then you get this annoying, I don't know, boxy frequency, which most of the time is happening between 150 and 250 hertz. And it is really important to take this out. Let me show you the before and after. So I hope you will have the same feeling as I have with that frequency. So this band makes the low end much more controlled. And especially I have a sub here below my table and it makes it, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, boxy, less boxy, of course. But for me, it's also warmer. Yeah, in the end. And in the end, it's not that aggressive to the ears, which means I can make it louder during mastering and mixing. So yeah. This is EQing. So keep that in mind, especially this range, and in this range, try to find some, yeah, like really piping sounds like that one, which are obviously resonances. Yeah. So in the end, this makes the difference between a kick drum, which is just a loud kick drum, and a kick drum which you can make really, really loud and which sits very well and sounds very well on almost every speaker. Yeah, and then in the chain we have, yeah, a low cut for the sides, just because the reverb rumble, but usually I put, yeah, as I did it here as well, usually I put a utility and mono directly on the reverb rumble because I don't want to have any stereo information coming from that reverb. Yeah, then we have a Pultec EQ and we have a maximizer. I've added this maximizer in the end when I did the mastering for the track, because during mastering in the maximizer, you can see how much the threshold of the maximizer is hit. And I really had the feeling that the kick drum was too aggressive, so I tried to compress it more with the maximizer directly on the group than on the master itself. So I hope this makes sense. Yeah. So let's go for the pull tag. So the pull tag, I haven't touched any of these knobs. It's just on the chain because it changes the color of the sound and it adds a little bit more bass, which is okay for me because I like bass. Yeah, so yeah, the pull tag is, you can use a different pull tag. There are pull tags from Waves or from a soft tube, but I have the Apollo interface, so I can use the UAD plugins. And yeah, in the end, we have the ozone. Be careful, I think we're getting way louder now with the limiter on the chain. So what the limiter is doing, it is compressing the sound even more. So we have the transient of the kick drum, which gets quieter, and we have the rumble, which gets louder. And so in the end, we have a really fat, rumbling low end here. So this is the first track. I hope you have learned a little bit. I think the most important is the equalizer, in my opinion, because saturation and overdrive and rumbling and reverb stuff is already, yeah, I don't know, there are hundreds of YouTube tutorials about that stuff, but no one is explaining you how to, yeah, cut out the boxy frequencies and really care about the sound which comes out of the group in the end. And this is what I want to focus on with that video. So let's open another kick drum, which is from a track which you can also buy as a template on Production Music Live. It's called Das Hein. Hopefully I will put a link in the profile description, in the video description. And in that one, we have, let's switch off the group processing as well here, and then we have the kick drum. So when I made this low end, I had a reference track with a really, really, really low rumbling and yeah, rhythm below 40 hertz. And I really wanted to achieve this, I don't know, this moving sub bass in that area. So this is why I pushed, normally I don't do that, why I pushed this gain here in that area around, yeah, like almost nothing, like 12 hertz. Yeah, this is where no sound should play normally. But I wanted to push up the lower part of that sound a little bit. And what is also important here, I cutted the sample. This is what I do a lot. So first I make sure that my simpler does not start somewhere, like when you put the sample in. So I check usually that I hit directly on the first transient, as you can see here. Yeah, plus minus a few samples, but not like this, but like this or like this or like this. And then I took out the sharp transient of the kick drum with the fade in, which is a trick I really like, just to make the beginning of the kick drum a little bit softer if I want that. Yeah, and this track, which is really dark and really atmospheric kind of techno, I wanted to have a really soft kick drum and not the sharp transient. Usually it sounds like this. Yeah, and with the fade in the simpler, you can really make the kick a little bit softer. And when you add the equalizer in the end of the chain and cut out some higher frequencies, then it is even softer than it's without the equalizer. So let's have a listen. Yeah, and there's a little bit noise on the kick drum, and this is what I also cut it out. Yeah. Saturator is honestly just making it louder and distorting it a little bit more. So this is not really the secret here. So yeah, let's go for the next sound. The next one is a recorded loop from a plugin which is called Bassism. So maybe you know Bassism. It is a kick drum generator, and it looks like this. So it's pretty simple, easy, but when it comes to melodic techno, to tech house, or this kind of dark techno with really soft and round and full kick drums, then this is, in my opinion, the best plugin on the market. So there is no Kick 2 and no Nicky Romero or whatever magic kick drum generator. Everything you need is this one, and this costs, I don't know, like 20, 25 euro, maybe 30. When I bought it, it was 15. So check that out. By the way, I'm not sponsored. I really like it. I bought it and I really like it. I bought it because I like it. Yeah, but let's come back. So with the Bassism, I've tuned a kick drum, which as mentioned already, I made this track with a reference track in the top of my Ableton track, and the reference track had a lot of stuff going on in this area here, which is first maybe looking a little bit crazy. Yeah, like 14 hertz, but if you add just a tiny bit of this frequency, you can really have this rhythm from the deepest frequencies you can imagine. So let's hit play now. So we have a really fast rhythm. No sidechain, nothing. Just to emphasize, to make the track faster. So it feels like it is super fast, but it is not. I'm not sure in which tempo I've recorded the track, but I think it's something like 126 to 128. So in this project, we are having 128, so I can switch to 126 maybe. Yeah, and so you can really hear what is going on together in this and in this chain. So this is, let's call it the bass here. We have the kick drum and then we have the bass. And to emphasize even more on this, let's call it a softer bass kick drum, which is also important, which is tuned. So in Bassism, you can tune the kick drum. So it is pretty simple to tune the sound to the key of the track directly when you create the kick drum. And to emphasize this one even more, we have that one. Let me check what is going on here. Okay, we have even more low end added to the low end. But believe me, it makes sense because it sounds pretty good on the sub. And this is, I trust the sound here in the room. And when I have the feeling, so first, when I look into that project, because it's a little bit older, I have the feeling, okay, what the hell? But the sound is nice, so I think it's fine how it's done here. We have another kick drum which is just playing the rhythm from the freezed audio from the Bassism. So we have this one. And yeah, the third one is, no, it's the fourth, sorry, is also a bassism. Let me check that one out. Yeah, this one is tuned 1 octave up. So it is adding, yeah, a little bit harmonics to the fast running kick drum here. And then we have another chain which is called bass support, which is doing basically almost the same. So it's a sine wave with a short envelope. Yes, mostly like a kick drum. And this one sounds like that. So this is 1 octave higher than the one above it. So we have this kick drum, which is, I don't know, let's call it G0. This is G1 and this is G3. And all together sound like this. Yeah, and this is a little bit a different low end than all the other. Yeah, put a reverb and echo to the main kick and make everything out of one sample. So this is why I wanted to show you that track. And then we have the processing. So be careful. Let me check what is going on here. By the way, the template is made with stock plugins only, so there is no satin, no press work, no magic stuff going on here, but the sound is nice as well, so it doesn't need that plugins. Yeah. So the low extender is a preset from the Ableton glue compressor, which adds even more low end to the low end. Okay, this is maybe a little bit annoying, but it is important because low end is nice. So yeah, it is compressing the sound and making it a little bit pumping. So you have like a little bit, yeah, let's call it pumping. It is pumping in the end. So we have the bit warmer again, like in the track before, because I like it. Then we have the equalizer because there is so much bass in the track already. I took out like, I don't know how much is that. Yeah, around minus 2 dB from 100 hertz and below to, yeah, control it a little bit more and to have not that much. And then we have another saturator to, yeah, I think to give the sound a little bit color. Yeah, but honestly, now, because this track is almost 1 year old, I would maybe delete the saturator or at least cut out a little bit of the frequency I talked about in the kick drum before. So which should be somewhere here. So the problem is nobody told me that this equalizer is important when I made this kick drum. But hopefully you can hear the difference. So I found this just out, I don't know, a few months ago. And since then, I really care about this area here. If I would have made this kick drum now, yeah, then this would be the result and not the one without the equalizer. Yeah, and then we have just take out the sides. Yeah, okay, I think there are almost no sides inside because there is no stereo signal, no reverb, nothing. But anyhow, yeah, maybe I had the feeling to cut something. Makes no difference. So this is maybe from my original low end preset. So that's it, basically. I hope you learned something about low end, something different, hopefully, than in all the other tutorials about techno and low end. Yeah, if you like the video and the content, then just hit the thumb up. If you don't like it, hit the thumb down 2 times. And yeah, thank you for watching it. Bye bye.